Some parents in Denver probably waking up a little bit tired this morning. It was a long, frustrating night of public comment for the proposed school closures in Denver.
Yeah, it was the last chance to voice their concerns before the district votes later this week. Now, News reporter Darius Johnson joins us live from DPS headquarters. And Darius, nearly 200 people, parents and kids, signed up to speak last night.
Yeah, they all signed up to express their concern and emotion about closures that could potentially impact their families. Originally, 10 schools were on the chopping block as the district has since cut that in half. So now 5 elementary and middle schools are at risk of being closed, impacting roughly 600 students. Closing 10 schools would save the district nearly $5 million, and DPS says these 5 schools account for more than 2/3 of that money. The district superintendent says closing these schools could get kids into bigger schools and improve their experience. Parents in attendance last night disagreed.
What I have heard is common themes. We all want what's best for our children. We all want transparency from DPS. We all want DPS to listen to us.
On Thursday, the board will gather to vote either yes or no. If they decide no, then they have to go back to the table to try to figure out what's next. One of those potential options on the table could be revisiting those 5 schools that were removed from the original list and reconsidering them for closure, Gary and Corey.
All right, Darius, thank you. They were very passionate last night. Well, right now, a live look at the nation's capital. The balance of the U.S. House remains undecided. There are 17 races that are uncalled, and that includes Colorado Congressional District 3. This morning, there is no change to Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert's lead over Democratic challenger Adam Frisch. Boebert has an 1,122 vote lead. Ballots are still being counted, with more coming in from overseas and military voters. Voters with signature issues have until Wednesday to fix them so their ballot can be counted.
Well, while we wait for those midterm results, Denver is looking ahead to the next election. And that's going to be April 4th. Voters will weigh in on a wide-open mayoral race, the most wide open in more than a decade. Democratic State Senator Chris Hansen announced his campaign yesterday. He will join other well-known names, including Democratic State Representative Leslie Herod, former Denver Metro Chamber Chief, CEO Kelly Broff, and City Councilwoman Debbie Ortega. The race also includes community leaders like 2019 mayoral candidate Dr. Lisa Calderon, civil rights activist Terrence Roberts, and environmental activist Ian Tafoya. And before the election, Mayor Michael Hancock is putting together his final budget. It was approved by Denver City Council just this week. It is nearly a $4 billion plan to recruit police officers and continue with downtown development. Denver's approved the budget and also includes $254 million to support affordable housing and address homelessness, $36 million to expand behavioral health services, including drug counseling and telehealth services, and some $8 million to add nearly 200 new police officers to the police force. Last month, City Council voted down several amendments from Candy C. to Baca that would have diverted millions of dollars from the city's police budget out to other things. The Democratic Socialist Councilwoman was the only council member to vote against the final budget proposal.
Denver-based Frontier Airlines is getting fined from the federal government for all of those delays and cancellations. The Department of Transportation is ordering Frontier and 5 other airlines to pay more than $600 million in refunds to customers whose flights were canceled or delayed. Frontier has to pay $222 million in refunds. It also owes the department more than $2 million in fines. The other airlines on the list are all international airlines. So far this year has been the worst for on-time flights and delays since 2014. Starting today, you can now bring your e-bike with you on RTD. They technically weren't allowed on buses or trains up until now. Not ideal for people trying to use them to get to and from the transit stops. Plus, Denver's given out more than 4,400 rebates to help people buy e-bikes. The city promoted them as part of a plan to cut down on car trips to meet climate goals.
Seems like it makes some sense, doesn't it? A live look outside. It is cold out there, and seeing Ball Arena reminds us of how tough a night it was for the Avalanche last night. St. Louis Blues broke their 4-game winning streak. Avs got on the board first, but they later fell 3-2 was the final score. But not all was lost at Ball Arena. It was a really special night for a special person.
Yes, it was. So our wish kid, Jack, who you may remember from last year, finally had his wish granted yesterday. He wanted to be an Avs player for the day.
That is so cool.
And Make-A-Wish and Kroenke and the Avs really did it up. I mean, they thought of every detail, and we were there yesterday for his wish. So we're going to bring you that story on Friday, and just his smile will melt you. This family is so deserving.
Yeah, just a great wish, and it turned out wonderful, I hear, and so that'll be a good story.